Adam Hill.
Adam Hill, you're the
Adam
best.
Hill is here.
Adam Hill. After Marcus Mariota, you're probably Swag Jeff's best friend.
Yeah. Well, you're top 5. You're top 5.
So, because Comp is up there now.
Because Comp is up there.
He's your best friend.
Yeah, you know what? Comp took over Mariota's spot as my second best friend.
Has he really?
He's third. He's a strong 3.
A strong 3?
Almost
so Adam
2A.
Hill's a strong 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's because then I got Mosh. Mosh falls directly below Will Compton and Marcus Mariota.
So who's the strong 5?
Yeah, so you got you.
I'm a strong 5. This won't be the first time I've heard I was a strong 5.
You're a solid 5, bro. Yeah, no,
a strong
5. Yeah.
Let's start the show. What is up, Raider Nation? Your buddy Murph back once again for an episode of Raiders Fan Radio Rundown, or RFR Rundown, or RFRR, I guess as the kids call it. But hey, appreciate having you back into Murph's Fan Cave. And so for the first time in 6 weeks or something, I'm not pulling a podcast selfie here. So we decided to go ahead and flip on the cameras. So we're not doing an episode of RFR Live where we're going to feature your calls and voicemails and all that good stuff. We're just going to run down some of the biggest stories within Raider Nation throughout this week. And yeah, we're flipping on the camera because I'm not alone. I'm joined by my best buddy, the man that adorns the Southern Annex of the Western Annex of the Murph's Fan Cave desk, the unmatched Swag Jeff. What's up, Swaggo?
Yeah, that is right. I am here. And you know what? You're never alone, man. You're never alone because there's a little bit of Swag Jeff in all of our hearts.
Oh, that's
nice. Absolutely. But no, it's good to be back. It's been a billion years since I've been here to do an actual live show. You know, I was here doing the Will interview last week.
Well, we did the Will interview, and that was just last week. So it's not like you've been here, but we just haven't done a show proper with you. The show proper
where I get to join the chat and all that stuff, and Michelle Sweat's in there, the Big Easy Eye Patch, Adam Hill's in there, Ron the Mater Raider, Adam Hill's in here, Chris Rodriguez, Adam Hill, Raider Cody. The whole gang's here.
So all the Adam Hills are here?
All of them.
Wow.
Yeah, they're all here.
You love Adam Hill.
Yeah. And Adam Hill loves me.
Yeah, he does.
And isn't afraid to tell me when I screw up.
Absolutely, he's not. So glad to see you, Adam Hill, and thank you for all of you joining us live in the chat room tonight. And also, Swaggo, you got somebody else that's in your shot here for those of you that are watching us on youtube.com/Murph's Fan Cave. Vinny's back. What's up, Vinny?
Vinny, what are you playing there, Vin? We got some Batman action going behind.
Arkham what?
Arkham Knight.
A little Arkham Knight going back there. Yeah, with
right.
Las Vegas Raiders hat on. You rock, Vinny.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys don't get sued by Warner Brothers. But
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that. So anyways, appreciate all of you joining us live tonight in the chat room as always. And so, as I mentioned, we're doing, this is RFR Rundown. So we're going to run down all the biggest Raiders stories this week. And really, this whole show and the reason that we're flipping on the cameras is just an excuse to do one very elaborate bit, which you all will see here in just a little bit. And Swaggo and I are pretty proud of it, and we hope you like it. It's kind of funny. So you know us around here. We like to do funny stuff. So, hey, speaking of funny stuff.
Speaking of funny stuff.
Hey.
It's a weird deal going on there. I don't know what's happening.
So we do an annual awards show.
Yeah.
That we started, this is the 4th now annual Fanny Awards, a play on the Raiders Fan Radio title. This is the Fanny Awards. So what we do is we give out a very tongue-in-cheek array of awards to members of Raider Nation, to players, to coaches, to anybody affiliated with our show, mostly with our show, because we like to, have fun with our listening audience and ourselves and take shots at each other and all that kind of good stuff.
Absolutely.
So anyway, so that's what the fannies are. Well, so the fannies will be a week from today. And so put on your Raider best, put on your fanciest jersey. I typically wear a bow tie in my Howie Long away jersey. And so anyways, dress up.
You're going to get a full dose of swag.
Oh,
that night
you're
going
to be iced out. You're going to have the drip. Right?
Oh, I'm going to be dripping.
You'll be dripping, right?
I'm going to be dripping big time. Right? Mikey, you need to pay attention. Mikey called me out I don't know, seemed like it was last time I was here, which was, I don't know,
a year and a half ago.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, he called me out. He
It was
said
when I first started dating Max.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, he called me out and said, I don't see any swag, so tune in for the fannies there, Mike.
Yeah, there you go. Check it out. And actually, shout out my boo. She might be on there tonight. I don't know if she is or not.
Max.
We're getting ready to have a year together. A year anniversary from when we first met, man. Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so so we're gonna do the Fanny Awards. So definitely check back in with us next week. So this is gonna be cool. So not only is it gonna be yours truly, Murph here, and my best friend Swag Jeff, but the greatest member of our family, the patriarch of it, the one and only Uncle Mosh.
Murph, Swag Jeff, and who's the third guy?
It's Uncle Mosh, Will.
Uncle Mosh, yep. And so he will be here for the Fanny Awards. And I just talked to today, Vinny and I went and picked up some salami, little Genoa salami, little Molinaris, little provolone cheese from Domenico's Deli, and talked to Jeff Murphy. And so QB Jeff, our buddy Jeff Murphy from Domenico's, is going to join us also for the Fanny Awards. So definitely check us out next Wednesday, probably around the same time as we always go. It will be RFR Live number 172, and that will be our Fanny Awards episode, and will be a lot of fun. You're going to hear a lot about the Made Men. You're going to hear a lot about all of everybody that's affiliated with our show. And since Michelle is there in the chat, Michelle Sweat, we would love to honor you and your Raider fandom by inducting you into the R Hall of Fame, which is the Made Men and the Made Women, on that show, on the Fanny Show. Hit us with
not tonight.
Hit us with an email. Hit us with a voicemail,
Yeah.
Michelle. Absolutely. We would love to do that. And so appreciate all of you that join us each and every week. And yes, if you want to join in tonight, as Jeff mentioned.
QB Jeff is in the chat right now. He said as long as the old lady doesn't go into labor first, he'll be here.
Oh my gosh, that's right, because she's due any day. Miss Scarlett, Jeff's lovely wife, she's due any day now. And so as long as that doesn't happen, then yeah, sweet. I'm glad that he will be here to join us. And Jeff's great, man. And Jeff, I didn't even tell him this today when I saw him, but I'll tell him this now since he's in the chat. Everybody loves quarterback Jeff, your all-time Alameda High School passing leader, former quarterback of the MTSU Blue Raiders.
Yes.
They loved his insight, his analysis, the way that he broke down the Ruggs pick and what Henry Ruggs would mean to the Raider offense.
He had a sweet chat with Will at Domenico's last week.
That's exactly
when we
right.
kidnapped Will.
That's right.
Just seeing two football minds talk, it was just cool, man.
That was absolutely cool. Yeah, so definitely look forward to that. Look forward to next week and the Fanny Awards. So speaking of Compton and speaking of our big week last week, hanging out with Will and look, and it's like, and Mosh and QB Jeff from Domenico's were giving us a little bit of a hard time because we had stars in our eyes when we were hanging out with Will. But you know what I mean? Like you mentioned, he's like your new best friend. He's my second best friend. And yeah, like we had a lot of fun hanging out with Will.
It was the best. It was the best time.
He's the best. So, but a couple things around that. So for you, Raider Nation, as much as we had a great time, we also want to hook you up too. We want to share back with you so much of our experience. And you saw our YouTube show. I got the signed jersey behind me, the signed game jersey that Compton signed for us. That's going to hang up now here permanently in the fan cave. But also, so behind Uncle Mosh's chair now, for those of you on the YouTube and for those of you on the audio podcast, you're looking at it's a Nike jersey I bought now a few months ago. It's Will's jersey, and he signed it for the boys with his signature, number 51. It's an authentic Nike jersey. It's not the game jersey. It's the replica jersey.
Yes.
But it's an authentic, Nike replica.
Yeah.
And
the Nike game jersey.
I bought it through our link on, RaidersFanRadio.com/gear.
Yes.
So we'll sign that. So for those of you that aren't familiar on where we live outside of Nashville, not same town, but the same as Will in the same proximity, we were impacted heavily by tornadoes right before the COVID. So our community was hammered by some really gnarly storms right before, and a lot of the areas around Nashville were devastated. And so we asked Will if he would be willing to sign a jersey to auction off, and then the proceeds we would give to tornado relief. And this is long before actually Will was ever here in the fan cave. This was back when we interviewed him the first time.
Yes.
And so anyways, he agreed to do it. And so you're looking at the autographed Will Compton jersey. Before we send this thing out to any kind of official auction, we want to do kind of like a silent style thing here.
Yeah.
If you want that thing, message me. My email is Murph, M-U-R-F, at RaidersFanRadio.com.
Yes. Yeah. Message him. You can hit us up via Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, any of those things, and we'll tell you if you're the highest bidder or not.
Absolutely. But if you want to keep it on the down low, if you want to keep it quiet, just send me an email, and I'm not going to share back what your amount was or anything like that. But if we get what we feel, and I'm not even going to tell you, if we get what we feel is what we can, if we were to like sell that thing, if we can get that or more, then we'll just call you the highest bidder. You can PayPal us the money and then know that that's going to go straight to tornado relief.
Yep.
Consider it a tithe. You can call it whatever you want because we're not going to share your information or whatever. We're just going to take that money, give it to tornado relief, and then call it a day. So anyway, so we got an autographed Nike Will Compton jersey.
Yeah,
right
he signed
there.
it Will Compton and For the Boys, which is a part of their Bussin' with the Boys podcast.
Absolutely.
It's great stuff.
Absolutely. And so along with that, now for freebies, Swaggo, you got a couple freebies that we're going to send to folks.
Absolutely. Well, while Will was in the fan cave, we asked him, because we told him about our milestone that we hit. 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, which thank you guys so much for subscribing, and we're going to give you guys a little gift. We told you guys that we were going to do it, so of course we are going to sign the Get Made t-shirt with all of us, a little self-promotion within a self-promotion, but we're also going to give away a couple of these bad boys.
There you
couple
go.
Will Compton For the Boys autographed pictures, 8x10s. That's for you guys, and you know what? We're actually going to take a dip into the swag bag, and we're going to give you this brand new 2020 Las Vegas Raiders hat right there, new era. It's the brand new one. I think this is the one they're going to be wearing for like training camp and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it's brand spanking new, and you're going to get that.
Right on. So one of you will get an autographed Will picture and a hat. The other one will get the autographed Get Made shirt. And then the autograph will picture.
Absolutely.
So very cool stuff there. Thank you to all of you that support us each and every week here on
Yes,
Raiders
thank
Fan
you
Radio.
very much.
Yes,
You guys
absolutely.
make the show what it is. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right, so let's jump into some Raider news. And but before we do that, Swaggo, hit a break.
Hey Raider Nation, this is Max Crosby from the Oakland Raiders.
And goes down, and Max Crosby, who forced a fumble last week.
You're listening to Murph, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Thank you so much. Just win, baby.
All right, once again, we appreciate all of you joining us live here for the Raiders Fan Radio Rundown, or the RFR Rundown, or RFRR, I guess as we call it. So on this show, basically what we do is we go over all the hottest Raider stories for RFR Live. We cover all of your emails and voicemails for those of you that are new listeners, and we get so many viewers each and every week. Like as Jeff mentioned, we hit our milestone. We now have 2,100. We actually soared past 2,000 subscribers, and now have 21, which is, I know I say soared. That's a lot for us anyways in our little world here, for a couple of knuckleheads in the bonus room. But anyway, so we appreciate those of you joining us. And so, yes, we're going to cover all the biggest Raider stories throughout the course of the week. But also, we like to do, we like to pay homage to certain players. We have big reverence around here for a lot of different players that have come in throughout the history of the league, and of course the history of our team. And so we're going to get to some fun stuff about Tim Brown later on tonight. And we're going to talk a little bit about one of the new players to the Raiders, a new legacy player, and Henry Ruggs III. But before we get to all that, for those of you that don't know, I mean, Jeff is a huge Marcus Mariota fan. He's a huge fan of number 8, who comes to the Raiders via the Tennessee Titans after having this phenomenal collegiate career in Oregon,
Just like Swag Jeff did.
Well, yeah, right. Yeah, came to us via the Tennessee Titans. So, we want to turn it over here to Jeff as he jumps into what we call now on the RFR Rundown. If you can't tell, I've been stalling. This is now the Aloha Corner, and the Aloha Corner now comes with some visuals for those of you that are on the YouTube. So as I take another second here before I turn it over, let's now welcome back into the fan cave Swag Jeff, and he's going to tell us a little bit about one of his favorite players, and that is Marcus Mariota.
welcome everybody. Welcome everybody to another edition of Aloha Corner. I'm Swag Jeff. We're here to gush about a player that wears number 8, a player that will play for the Las Vegas Raiders. That's right, I'm talking about Marcus Mariota. Did you know in 2015 Marcus Mariota ran for an 87-yard touchdown to the house, which is third longest in NFL history as far as runs, only third to Terrell Pryor with the Oakland Raiders. But let's talk about his Heisman season. His Heisman season in 2014, he was 304 for 45 for 4,454 yards and 42 touchdowns. Are you kidding me? 135 rushes for 770 yards and 15 touchdowns. Are you kidding me? 1 reception for 26 yards and 1 touchdown? Are you freaking kidding me? Well, yeah, this guy's the best. That's 58 touchdowns. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. He could be the best player to ever suit him up. It's the best. You want to talk about Raider news? DC and Mariota have been spotted in Las Vegas training together, working out together. Are they just learning the playbook? Is Mariota teaching Derek Carr how to throw the football? I don't know what it is, but it's great to see this team coming together. I did see that he shaved his beard. He has shaved his beard to get the rookie look where he had success. Okay, where'd my damn music go? Where'd my music go?
I'll start it again. Go ahead.
Oh, the Marcus is behind me. He's training behind me. We're all a family here. Ohana. We have the mana attitude. We are mana warriors. And mahalo, Mariota. Mahalo for just being who you are. We love you, and we cannot wait to see you lace them up, put those pads on over that beautiful number 8 Raider jersey, and yeah, from Swag Jeff, Marcus Mariota, if you're listening, I love you.
Oh my God! Oh, they got a seal there. Oh, that's a nice seal.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Oh, what happened to Marcus? Eric, I'll give you Marcus one more time.
Yeah, where's he at?
There he comes. I think he's going to run down the beach at you, Jeff. There he is. iPad says this is getting creepy. This is my favorite bit ever.
Well, yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. You ready?
We're done.
Just press the damn button, nerd.
Sorry.
What's up, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Will Compton. You're listening to Raiders Fan Radio with my boys Murph, Swaggy Jeff, and Uncle Mosh. Tune in because they fucking put out a banger podcast.
Oh my gosh, Jeff, you're the best, Swaggo. That was too funny, man. Good job. All right, so as I mentioned, we're going to get to some of the hottest Raiders stories this week, and let's kick it off with one of my all-time favorites, one of the guys that inspired me to do a freaking a podcast to begin with, and I know my cousin Sonny as well, and I know Uncle Mosh is a big fan of his, Swaggo's a big fan of his. I don't listen to his show as much anymore, but been a huge fan of Jim Rome for many, many years. Actually even used to call into that show back in the day you could call me a clone once upon a time. But anyways, so Jim Rome had a segment about the Raiders and about Mark Davis in particular. And, Swag brought it up before the show that, the NFL has now mandated that any fans that are going to attend a 2020 season game, you have to wear a mask. But we were talking amongst ourselves, we were wondering, well, is there going to be any fans anyways? So many stadiums now already in New York and even Philly have said that they're not going to have any fans in the stands. But anyway, so Mark Davis came out and said quite a bit around the Raiders and the whole notion of fans wearing masks and fans, frankly, whether they should or shouldn't be able to attend games. He said he wouldn't attend any games if fans weren't able to go. So a lot of stuff going on around Mark Davis, and Rome had quite a bit to say about it. Now, I will say this. It's a little tired, the whole taking pot shots at Mark Davis about his haircut.
Yeah, it's been done.
But that's kind of Rome's thing. So forgive the shots. That's not us amplifying Rome's little jokes here. Like, look, I can take a joke. Look what we just did. Like, we're not afraid to like poke fun even at each other, but like, it's kind of like, all right, like we get it. He's got a funky haircut. He likes PF Chang's, a minivan, and a flip phone. Like,
who doesn't?
Right?
Who doesn't like that stuff?
Exactly.
So you don't like that there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so forgive the lame jokes, but the sentiment that Rome has to say is, I think, very appropriate.
Interestingly enough, though, it's not just the players who are expressing those concerns. One of the NFL owners did as well. Raider owner Mark Davis. Now, Davis is going to be known for something more than just rocking the worst ginger cut ever and a flip phone. Nope. Now he is also the only owner approaching the viability of the coming season by saying, let's not get into that just yet.
Let's not get into that yet.
An owner doing that. Last night, Mark Davis told ESPN, quote, I don't even know if it's safe to play. Uncertainty is the word, end quote. I mean, that's an amazing statement, really, from an owner. Given how eager the league has been to bowl right through the pandemic, you know they cannot be that pleased to hear that from Mark Davis. And then Davis kept going. He ran down 3 options for what this season might look like. Number 1, you can continue as planned with training camps opening up next week. Number 2, delay the start until November and then go with a 12-game regular season, which would mean canceling the 4 interconference games. And number 3, cancel the 2020 season. That's right. I said cancel the 20 season completely. And that's not me saying it. That's an NFL owner saying it and saying it to ESPN. One thing for an owner to acknowledge that it may not be safe to play, that's newsworthy enough. Quite another, though, for an owner to acknowledge canceling the entire season is on the table, too. And yes, I know it's not Jerry Jones or the Rooneys or Bob Kraft talking. It's the owner with the whack ginger bowl cut who rolls around in a minivan with a flip phone fetish and is posting up at PF Chang's. But dude is still an actual owner. He is still one of them. An NFL owner saying that he's not sure if it's safe to play right now, and an NFL owner raising the possibility of shortening or even canceling the entire season. Like, there are only 32 of those guys on this planet, and one of them has mentioned the unthinkable.
All right, interesting stuff there, Swaggo. So
yes.
I'm going to kick it over to you. First off, props to the chat room and Jeff Murphy in there, where he says that you like fans wearing masks. Like, what else is new in Raider Nation?
Right, exactly.
Like, that's easy for us.
Exactly.
But talk a little bit about Rome's comments there.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm with you as far as, we hear the jabs all the time about Mark, but you know what? He's done a ton for this franchise and for the league and stuff. So he's
a lot more respected of a name and commentary or commenter now than he would have been. Remember all the crap Raider fans gave him back in the day?
Absolutely.
And hey, and I'm calling you out, Raider fan. There's plenty of you that were like, Mark Davis is going to run us into the ground. And I cut you off, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
But like, people are like, oh, Mark Davis is going to run us into the ground. Mark Davis is going to ruin the franchise. Mark Davis. You know what? All of a sudden now, the Raiders are one of the most valuable franchises in the league. He's got a beautiful gem built in the desert, a beautiful training facility, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. Like, Mark Davis is now a respected owner in the NFL. So shame on all of you that talked all that, you know what, back when he first took control of back over the franchise. But I think that Rome is being awful dismissive and a little petty in his comments. And he says like, oh, he's not the Rooneys. He's not Jerry Jones. No, he's Mark freaking Davis. You know what I mean? And that kind of carries some weight nowadays.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's you don't hear a lot of the owners come out publicly and say, is this a good idea? I don't know. I mean, you got all these guys like Jerry Jones that they just want to play because they want to get their money too. You know what I mean? And so, Mark Davis is kind of looking out not only for his team and his family and all the people in Las Vegas, but for Raider Nation as well. So yes, we all want to get into that beautiful stadium, that amazing stadium.
Oh my gosh.
But you know what? But if our owner is not comfortable with it right now, then I'm totally on board with whatever he wants to do because he's done so much good right now.
Absolutely. So somebody said, what's with the music? Do I still have music playing?
Yeah, it says that every time It says every time I'm on, the Aloha music is playing.
Oh, no. Okay. All right.
We'll cut it off.
All right. I think I got to cut off there.
But that's kind of awesome.
Sorry about that. Every time Swag Jeff is on, plays the Mariota music. I think
yes, that was on purpose, everybody.
Okay, is that off now? I think I got it off. So
yeah. Michelle says, I think we're all just hearing what's in Swag's head all the time. Yeah, there's constant hula music in my head at all times.
All right, let me know if it's off, you guys. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, all right.
Ron says, if you couldn't hear what I said, well, yeah. Okay, turn it back on me. Did it fix it?
I don't know. Let me leave it on Swag. All right, can you guys is the hula music off?
Are we good?
All right.
Can you hear me now? We good?
Oh my gosh, that's the best. Oh man, too far. All right, I'm just gonna start talking while Swag's going. The chat is killing us. You guys are the best. All right, the Big Easy says we're good. Thank you, Big Easy.
Oh, good.
Oh man, sorry about that, guys. That's hilarious. Oh, dude, it was lingering on. I wish that was
That's incredible.
I wish that was going to carry over in the audio version,
I know.
but it won't. It'll just be on the YouTube. Look at my glasses are fogging up.
Oh, that's incredible.
Oh my gosh, you're the best. All right, too funny. All right, so anyways, let's move on. So speaking of public figures and sports analysts, let's go now to our buddy JT the Brick. Now, a man who won't take a pot shot at Mark Davis and a guy who does respect the organization. And actually, I didn't even think about this. Did you know this? Do you know where JT the Brick got his start from, Swaggo?
I have no idea.
Are you familiar with Jim Rome's Smack Off? Do you know what that is?
No, I do not.
Okay, Jim Rome every year has a call-in contest where he has the caller leave a message, or not leave a message, but like get on the air and give like their take, right? And give a take, don't suck, that whole thing that Rome has.
Yes.
So they would give like a 2 or 3 minute take. And okay, JT the Brick won the annual Smack Off like 3 years in a row.
Okay.
And then got offered his own radio show.
Oh, wow.
And became JT the Brick. Like
That's awesome.
He got his start as a caller on the Jim Rome show.
How cool is that?
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
There's a little tidbit for you there. Anyways, I didn't even think about that when I put this together. But that said, JT the Brick is very much a fan of and a voice of the Raiders. And so let's go now and hear JT on NFL Network talking with Andrew Siciliano, and great stuff here with JT. Go out and find this on your own because this whole thing is like 6 minutes long.
Yes.
We only took a couple minutes in the interest of time. So after you hear the part here, and after you watch the whole episode here, go find it. You'll be able to YouTube it and find it. It's a great interview. This is, once again, JT the Brick on NFL Network.
How is JT the view from Vegas on the newest team in town?
Andrew, the view is bright, and the future of the Raiders, everyone's excited out here. The Las Vegas Raiders now have a global stadium and one of the greatest world headquarters in all of sports, let alone the NFL. And we're talking about a franchise now moving into a new stadium and a new headquarters moving down from Alameda. So the franchise is completely fired up. The new players, the roster has been reloaded. And the fans, the global Raider Nation now has a stadium that they can call home, that they don't have to share with anybody, that's going to be state of the art.
But logistically, JT, look, it's difficult for all 32 teams, difficult for everyone in this football business trying to get this season on the field. I have to imagine this is a monumental task here for Mayock, for Mark Davis, for everybody running this franchise to relocate in a pandemic.
Yes, the staff led by John Gruden, of course, the owner, Mark Davis, Mark Bedane, the president. They've been working for years, Andrew, on this move, and they've nailed it. They're on budget. The stadium is opening on time. It's gorgeous. And then the facility, as you can see, is second to none, maybe other than the Star in Dallas. So for the entire staff and this organization that has relocated with their families and their cherished ones to come to Vegas and buy new homes and be a part of this community, what their foundation has done on the ground to set the tone here in Las Vegas has been perfect. I'm telling you, from living here over 20 years, I've never seen anything like it. And the whole city is welcoming the Raiders. And again, the global Raider Nation finally has a place where they can say, that's our stadium. We can't wait to win there.
Awesome stuff from JT there. Hey, before we get into that, I got to shout out the chat, dude. So a lot of people in there: the Big Easy, Jay Laval, Raider Collie, Darth Vader Raider, Super Him, Watts Raider, Eye Patch, Aaron the Q Dog Raider, Foxy Scorpio, Ron the Mater Raider, of course, is in there. Big Drox is in there. A lot of new folks in there, a lot of new names, man, and appreciate all of you joining us here on youtube.com/Murph's Fan Cave. Hey, so as I mentioned, some new names, and one of them in there is Jay Laval. I'm not, Jay, nice to meet you. And I love what he says. He goes, who cares what Swag Jeff says? Play that Fire Mariota track.
Hey, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's so funny. And then Ron the Materator says, every time Swag speaks, Mariota gets his wings.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, you do. Anyways, good stuff there. Appreciate you in the chat room. James Furpo, another new name. Chris Rodriguez. Well, lots of new folks in there tonight. Appreciate you, Lee B, man. Appreciate you joining us here alive for this RFR rundown. All right, so let's get to what JT had to say, Swaggo. So,
yes,
there's a few things about the Raiders that I just got done rhapsodizing a minute ago about how the Raiders have really, or Mark Davis anyways, has become like, you know, a very relevant NFL owner. There were so many years that our franchise and our organization as a whole was, of course, it was the Raiders, so it's always relevant to us. But in terms of like league influence, league representation, we took a back seat, which should not be the case because as the Raiders, we should always be leading, right? But unfortunately, we took a little bit of a back seat. We weren't winning. Our facility was challenged at best.
Sure.
Even our practice facilities were. Like the organization was dysfunctional from the front office perspective. Like there's a lot of things going on around the Raiders. This is now the healthiest, not only the Raiders have been since Al in his heyday, since like Al, like a prime Al.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like 1981 Al Davis when he was like, you know what I mean? Calling all the shots.
Oh, yeah.
And the gangster of the NFL and like running everything, right? Aside from that, or even AFL version, whatever. You guys get what I'm saying. This is the most functional we have been. And not only the most functional as an organization, but now as we are, I think we're a model franchise. And I tell me what you think, Raider. I mean, I got a pretty good idea what the opinion of the chat room is going to be, but I think if you remove yourself from it and look at it objectively and not subjectively as a fan,
yes,
and like look at it, when you look at the training facility, you look at the playing facility, you look at the organization, you look at the roster, you look at the GM, the head coach,
yes,
all Mark Bedane, like you name it all. It's pretty freaking healthy, and I love this idea that JT, this notion about like this is now like we are modeling what it is now to be the absolute epitome or peak of an NFL franchise.
Yes, absolutely. You know, yes, to your point, I mean, that's perfect. You know, from top to bottom, you know, it seems like we're healthier now than we've been in a really long time. And, you know, and it's a full rebranding, which I think is really appropriate going to Vegas. You know, I feel like we have more talent on this team now than we have in a long time. So we're rebranding in that way. We're rebranding to the Las Vegas Raiders. We're rebranding to have our own stadium and facility and all that stuff. And, you know, bringing in Gruden and Mayock and all that stuff. This just, we're creating what the Raiders had back in the heyday, back in the 80s.
Absolutely.
And all that stuff. And you know, and talking to Will last week, you know, we asked him a lot about, you know, what does Gruden talk about in the locker room and you know, what's going on there. And, you know, and he said, you know, yeah, we had guys like Biletnikoff come in and talk to us and stuff like that. They're working so hard on building the mystique and the legacy of the Raiders with this new brand of, or, you know, these new group of guys and stuff like that. And it's incredible to watch. Absolutely, man. That's an excellent point, Jeff. And you know what I think is interesting is that, and if you go back and again, please go watch that whole thing with JT. He touches on something that we've touched on for a long time. And seriously, like going back like 3 years even now. And I caught a lot of crap for this, Jeff. I was saying that, like, you know, John Gruden is not building the newer version of the Raiders as much as he's building the newer version of the Patriots. Sure.
Like, you know, the Patriots at the time, and still kind of are, the model for functional winning franchises in the league. And that John Gruden wanted to build his version of the Patriots. And
yes.
And again, I caught a lot of crap for that, but the notion was they're the best there is. Like, yeah, sign us up for 6 Super Bowls, Raider Nation. Like, what the hell do you got to? I know we hate the Patriots, but you can't hate what their accomplishments are. If you were to take the notion of like their accomplishments and then mirror that and assign it to our team, yes, please.
Absolutely.
Like, so that whole idea, it's a copycat league. It always has been. So anyways, so that's what he was doing. And then now, and JT even goes on to say that, look, man, it's not even about trying to build the new version of the Patriots. It's building the new version of the Chiefs. Because whether we like it or not, we got to play those jackasses twice a year. And if you can't get out of your own damn division, you sure as crap aren't going to win a Super Bowl. Like,
right.
We've got to compete. So he talks about like the organizational structure of it, all the way down to the draft pick of Henry Ruggs and how that mirrors what Tyreek Hill is. And now, granted, Ruggs is the number 1 for us, and we're going to talk about Ruggs here in a second. Ruggs was a first rounder for us. You know, Tyreek Hill was a 5th round pick.
Yes.
But the dynamics of him as a player, the explosiveness, all that stuff. When you look at what the Raiders are doing, we're building to beat the damn Chiefs, and we're building organizationally to mirror what the Patriots are. Now, look, you can't hate those teams more than us. We get that, but those are also the 2 winningest organizations here of recent history, and that's what we want to be. And if you want to play ball with those guys, no pun intended, you got to freaking be like them.
Right.
It's a copycat league. You got to be structured like that, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, when us modeling after that, more people are going to model after us.
Amen.
So it's, it's the league is evolving. The league is changing. And, and thankfully it seems like we're kind of on the front side of that, building up, to beat those guys. So yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And it's really important, when you look at the diversity that we now have on offense, like we have so many different, look, Derek Carr, man, you've got all the weapons.
Oh yeah.
You have all the weapons. So there is, when you look at the way Bill Belichick will win a football game, he doesn't play the same way week in, week out. Offensively, I'm speaking of strictly offensively. And you could apply this to defense too. But offensively speaking, he doesn't play the same way week in, week out. One week he kills you with the running game. The next week he kills you with the tight ends. The next week he kills you with wide receivers. The next, you know what I mean? Like, it's like there's always that, like, he moves and he's fluid with it because he's got the ability based on the talent that he's got in-house to be able to do different things.
Yes.
Well, all of a sudden, one week Julian Edelman is a fantasy freaking football, gem.
Yeah, and then you don't see him for 4 weeks.
And then you don't see him for 4 weeks because
Absolutely.
That's what they needed to do that particular week to beat that particular team.
Absolutely.
And also another comment I've made, Jeff, in the past and caught a lot of crap for was that the Raiders ran out of talent. People be like, well, what does that mean? What that means is that you lack the ability to do things. When you have players get hurt or you lose the ability, there's no depth. You lose the ability to match up against people. You run out of talent. You only got so much talent on the damn roster.
Yeah.
And when Tyrell Williams goes down, now what are we going to do?
Right.
I don't know, and neither did they.
Right.
So point being, though, is that like the Raiders now have depth. They've got options. They've got ways to beat different teams multiple ways, and hopefully it starts showing up.
Yes.
Dude, we got a tough schedule to start off this season. We got to get started hot. They just absolutely have to. We cannot afford to be 1-4 going into the bye week. Otherwise, your boy Mariota is going to be running the show.
Well, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Let's hit a break.
Hey, what's up? It's Brockman from The Rich Eisen Show.
And it's Del Tufo from The Rich Eisen Show.
You're listening to Murph and Mosh on Raiders Fan Radio. Yes!
So we got the whole crew in here. We got the Big Easy, Eye Patch, Jay Laval, Darth Vader Raider, Robin Martinez, Damage Inc. Raider Nation Scotland, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Watch Raider, the whole crew's in here. Lee B's in here. Thank you guys so much for joining. And speaking of our talent, we the Madden ratings came out.
Yeah, man.
The Madden ratings came out. Obviously, we get shafted on some of these players and
So
stuff.
much.
It's insane.
I kind of ran him down real quick last week.
Yeah.
But like Rodney Hudson is the best Raider.
Yeah, Rodney Hudson's a 93, Incognito's a 90, Josh Jacobs 88, Trent Brown 87, Darren Waller 85, Demarius Randall and LaMarcus Joyner both 82, Ty Williams 82, Derek Carr 79, Gabe Jackson 78.
All right, give me your biggest miss. Give me your biggest miss and your biggest hit on that.
I think Darren Waller is good. I'm glad that he's up in the mid 80s now, because I think
he's
last
85,
year
right?
He's 85.
85 is a good rating.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a good
Last
and
year,
he's fast.
And he's fast.
Yeah.
Last year he was, I think he was like 68 or something last year in the game.
Yeah.
Something crazy. Derek Carr's number slipped again. Which a lot of the guys that love Carr, that love the stats, the 70% accuracy and all that stuff, that kind of surprises me a little bit that he isn't 80, 81 still, that he's dropping, even though the season that he had, we had L's, so it really doesn't matter what his stats are. But I don't see, I would have liked to have seen Jonathan Abram on this list. Even though we've only seen him for 1 week,
he's pretty good. He's got the superstar thing and stuff, like as a development and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's actually a pretty good player in Madden. He's got big speed. He's like 91, 92 acceleration, something like that.
Yeah. And then, but our boy Ruggs, he's not on here. The first receiver off the board, you'd think he'd probably fall 80. Something, you know what I mean?
Pretty close.
Pretty close.
When rookies typically end up in the mid 70s. And speaking of that, that's those segues that we call here in the business. Let's go to when Henry Ruggs found out about his ratings. Now, this is cool. So, Chad Ochocinco, as you guys know, former Bengal, Dolphin, where else did he play? Patriot, he was all over the place. Ochocinco was reaching out to different players, the rookies in particular, and giving them their rookie ratings. Now, where the rookie rating hits kind of where we felt it was going to hit as an overall for Henry Ruggs III. His speed rating is what is really fun as we listen to these two guys. I don't know if this was just a YouTube thing or what, but anyways, we came across this video and it's pretty fun. So this is Henry Ruggs finding out in real time what his Madden ratings are.
Hey, bro, what's up, bro?
What's up?
What's happening, baby?
Oh, man, nothing too much. Everything good with you?
Man, everything in life is great, man. If I had your hands, I'd cut mine off, man.
Now, that's pretty damn funny. If I had your hands, I'd cut mine off. He wouldn't say that to Amari Cooper.
No, I'm trying to be like you.
We're gonna meet. We're gonna meet because I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen before you get to camp. I don't want no excuses.
Okay.
I'm coming wherever you're training at.
All right.
And we're gonna line up. We're gonna run 10 routes.
Okay.
I'm playing DB, and I guarantee you won't catch 2 balls.
Well,
that's how I'm feeling.
Nah, we gotta make this extra. Yeah, just taking that.
What you expect to see as far as your ratings go? What you think it's gonna look like?
As far as the overall, I don't know. You know, y'all they kind of nervous rookies a lot, man. So probably be somewhere in the 70s.
Okay. Honest. You ready? So we're gonna start off with speed. What you think his speed is?
99.
Nah.
It need to be.
Nah. Okay. Your speed is a 98.
Okay.
You're the second fastest in the game behind Tyreek Hill.
That's just until I get on the field and show it.
Come on.
Ooh, I love it.
That's wild. I mean, I know my speed. I know I have, great speed, but to be, compared to all the guys in the league and be the second fastest in the game, that's wild.
And overall, you were 76.
See, I knew it was gonna be. I knew it was something. You gotta get that up, though. We gotta go up.
Listen, honestly, I think I tweeted not too long ago. But you got the opportunity to own Vegas.
Yeah, I seen that. Somebody sent it to me.
Listen, you have the opportunity because ain't nothing. It's something new stadium. You have an opportunity to own the entire city, man. And I'm happy for you. I'm excited.
All right, good stuff there, man. Appreciate it, Ocho.
Yeah.
Man, that was fun. So, hey, real quick before we get into finalizing this segment and get into the next one, let's take a call or two.
Yeah, let's take a call or two.
It's been a lot of fun on RFR Live, taking live calls. So
yes,
I've got the Google Voice up now. So if you want to jump in and join us here live for the rundown, give us your take on any of the stories we've covered tonight or just whatever, talk about your Raider fandom in general.
Yes.
You can definitely jump in and appreciate all of you that are in the chat room tonight. Any of you, heck, Michelle Sweat, if you're in there, you want to call us, or Capo's in there, Watch Raiders in there, Raider Collie, Stacy Ruff, Darth Vader Raider, Eye Patch is in there, Lee B, Ron the Mater Raiders in there. I can't scroll up, but appreciate everybody joining us live. But so interesting stuff there. So I love hearing the players get their Madden rating firsthand. Our boy Compton got his rating firsthand and wasn't thrilled about it. I think it was like 69 overall or something.
Yeah,
like that.
something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, like, so Ruggs is that 98 speed and he should be, like, you know what I mean? Like,
should be.
That's a good speed rating for him. He hasn't proven it in game yet though, but I firmly believe, just like what he said, once I show you my game speed, I'll be a 99. And I think that's what all of us are looking for. Taking the game out of the equation, all of us are looking for Henry Ruggs to be an explosive player, to be the guy that, like Jeff Murphy told us about. Like, it was interesting when Jeff was in here last. We all equate speed as fans. We think about the 9 route, the go route, the straight route, the like burning somebody down the sidelines, catching a 50-yard bomb and then taking off for the rest of the way. That Cliff Branch, that Kenny Stabler throw deep, baby, the Cliff Branch kind of thing. But also, like what Jeff had to say, with his quickness and his change of direction and all that stuff, he can really get underneath and split safeties too. And so that forces the secondary to come down. And then when the secondary comes down, then that's when you send him on those big routes like that. So it was really interesting to hear it conceptually that way. And I think that once we see those kinds of things happen in real life, I think we're going to see Mr. Ruggs hit that 99.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you just watch his highlights with Alabama. I mean, that's what they were using him to do. You saw him cutting across the field, splitting safeties that way. You see him catching screens in the backfield and it's unbelievable.
Awesome. Hey, so we got a call here.
Let's
check it out. Who we got?
Call from Eye Patch. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Oh, hang on. We got Eye Patch.
Murph, what's going on?
What's up, brother? How are you doing?
I'm floating around in my pool, man. Got home from work early today.
Oh, it's a rough life down there in Florida,
right?
Isn't it?
As long as you avoid all the COVID crap, yeah, it's nice.
There's no COVID in your pool, and the chlorine will kill it anyways, right?
You got it, man. What's happening?
Not much, brother. Appreciate you calling in, man. Good to hear from you.
I hear your pool. I hear the sound effects. I dig it.
Don't get excited. Marcus Mariota's not in the pool.
Ah!
Love it, man. So, hey, so what do you think about the Raiders' offseason so far, Eye Patch?
I heard that they got to cut the roster down to 80 right off the get-go, right?
Yeah.
From 90 to 80.
Yeah.
So who do you think's who's getting waxed first, man?
I don't know, man. It's tough when you get into that level, the depth chart, man. But I got to imagine the guys that are historic practice squad guys, our buddy Dallin Levitt, Rico Gafford, players like that. I got to imagine those are the ones on the bubble.
Yeah.
Right?
Rico Gafford right now is like the 4th fastest guy in Madden.
That's right. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, and he might be out of a job.
Yeah, right.
I guess they'll go on a practice squad. I would imagine, they can expand that a little bit. But, I was thinking last week, man, when you had Compton on, I was like, everybody's talking about, getting line. I mean, we went into last season with 4 linebackers, and it killed us. With the little bit of money we have left in cap room, man, I was like, why don't they just sign, get him? And, Perfect was good for the team. Everybody liked him. Use those two as some depth a little bit. Well, I don't want to go into this season with 4 linebackers again.
That seems
like
man.
That's all we got.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm with you, and I think that too, especially when you look at Compton's leadership and what else he can bring to the table besides
Perfect too. His leadership. It seems like the guys loved him. I mean, that he just got suspended with a stupid hit, but I mean, it seemed like he was got it very equated with all the other guys on the team.
Yeah, I think so too. This is like for the first time in a long time, it's nice to have that problem, right? Where it's like, well, we have a lot of good linebackers. Like, which ones do we want?
Right.
You know, because for so many years it was like we don't have any.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And we're bringing people like Derek Johnson.
I think they said that pro football, one of those pro football things, man. They said that they ranked our linebackers 6th this year.
Wow.
From 28th or 29th last year, we're ranked 6th this year.
That's awesome. Well, you know, I was watching not long ago on NFL Network, man, and I was watching a replay of the Super Bowl. I don't remember what the number was, but it was one with the Patriots and the Rams. And like Corey Littleton, there's like 3 plays in a row where he like picks off a pass, or no, he like deflects a pass, forces the fumble, and then like deflects a pass, like back-to-back series anyways, not like consecutive plays, obviously.
Yeah.
Or like, but it's like the guy is insane. Like on the biggest stage ever, and he's making the biggest plays. Yeah, so I got to imagine that's one of the reasons that like he.
And I thought they got him kind of cheap too.
Absolutely. But, you know, we were just talking about, you know, modeling after the Chiefs and, you know, figuring out how to beat the Chiefs. That's why they bring a guy like that in to cover Travis Kelce.
Bingo.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, he's quick. He can cover
I'm just worried about the secondary, man. If they don't get some time together, I mean, they got talent. They're young, man. They're just young. And I look at last year, any team that we played that had a decent quarterback, we got our asses whooped.
Yeah.
I mean, we got beat, man. And you look at we beat one good quarterback last year, Stafford. That was it. Opening day we played Denver, and they had that washed up. What's his name?
Yep.
And then after that, I mean, we didn't beat anybody that had a good quarterback. I mean, Cincinnati had their backup in, Chicago had their backup in. We beat Brissett. I mean, we didn't beat anybody that had a good quarterback.
Yeah,
and I just hope those guys get some time to gel, or at least, get some communication before. Because like Q said a couple weeks ago, man, we got murderer's row of quarterbacks early in the season,
Absolutely, we do, and those quarterbacks have good running backs too, and that's the other thing that's scary to me is that it's like you got Drew Brees, you got to worry about him, and there's Alvin Kamara back there too.
Right, exactly.
It's like what the crap, man. Like, we got. I'll tell you. So what do you think? So okay, iPad. So give me your. We hear you in your pool, and we can hear the water too. It's freaking awesome, by the way. So okay, so you're in the pool there, but you got your crystal ball. What's your crystal ball tell you the Raiders are looking like going into the bye week? We got 5 games. They're tough games. What do we look like, man? Are we got a winning record at that point, or we put Marcus Mariota in at 1-4?
And it's not if Mariota gets in and we start off 1-4. I don't think it's going to be Carr's fault. Last year I was screaming 16-0, and then 15-1 after we lost one, and 14-2. I hate going to being the downer, man. But the way the schedule is and the quarterbacks, and I think we're going to lose a lot of games early just because of the secondary not knowing and not communicating and not getting it. They're going to get better. They're going to be a lot better. Even with Abram back there, but Abram didn't play last year, so he's not gelling with those guys yet. So I think we're going to lose a lot early. I mean, we're going to be in games because of our offense, but I think we're getting a lot of shootouts. I hate to see Carr go out, and I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's going to be.
I'm thinking I'm trying to go into the season like realistically. I'm thinking maybe 9-7. After I looked at the schedule and looking at the quarterbacks we're playing again. But you never know. I mean, we didn't have linebackers for so long, man. Just have linebackers is going to make a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. In the chat, they're talking about it. Watts Raider says it's going to be a meltdown, 1-4. Q-Dog says, no preseason games suck. And I'm with them, like, because you like what you're saying, the secondary and other parts of the team are so young. There's not that opportunity for them to gel in a game environment. And not only,
I mean, look at that Chief game, man. Last year, the first quarter we played great, and then all of a sudden we had a couple blown coverages and miscommunications, and we got lit up.
We gave up all the points in the second quarter.
28 points in the second quarter, and that was it the whole game, right?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then the other thing too is that And this is something that doesn't get talked about a lot, but also, guys get hurt. And that's the sad thing about when you put rookies into the NFL, the rigors on their body and everything, and without preseason, without camp, without all that, these guys are literally getting thrown into the fire.
And then and then throw COVID into that.
Oh my
and then you throw COVID into that because
kids running around, all of a sudden with money in their pockets, and they're going to be out doing things they shouldn't be doing, maybe. Hanging around with Max and his girl.
They'll catch something besides COVID if they do that.
Oh, my gosh, I know, right? You'll be out longer than a 2-week quarantine.
Absolutely. But I think they've said if you test positive for COVID, it's 3 weeks.
Oh, my gosh.
You're out 3.
Is it really?
Yeah. You get put on the injured list for 3 weeks. Wow. So it's going to shake all kinds of stuff up.
Let's root that Mahomes is going to the Spearmint Rhino then when he's in Vegas and catch his 3-week quarantine or whatever. Anyways. Hey, but iPatch, appreciate you calling in, man. So
brother.
So we got a chance to meet iPatch. For those of you that don't know, we got a chance to meet iPatch live at the draft that was here.
Yeah, I was hoping to catch you guys over in Atlanta this year, because I was going to do the whole East Coast thing, man. Atlanta, I was going to go to Carolina's, the opening game, and then go up to Jersey for the Jets again. But who knows what's going on anymore?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So hopefully we'll get to catch you sometime and meet you back live and enjoy a tailgate. But in the meantime, brother, great to meet you. Great to talk to you on the air. This is one of the cool things about these live calls. We hear your voicemails all the time.
Yes.
But we don't get a chance to interact with you live. And so this is really cool. Appreciate you calling in, man.
All right, guys. Take care and say hello
to soak.
Mosh.
Yeah, enjoy the soak. Yeah. All right. Take care, iPatch.
Bye-bye.
All right, good stuff there from our buddy iPatch, man. These live calls, man.
Yeah.
This is fun, man. This has been a new fun dynamic to the show. Hey, before we jump into the last segment, Swaggo, give us the chat room in there and then hit a break.
Yeah. We got the Big Easy Raider Collie, Michelle Sweat, Watch Raider, Big Easy, Lee B, Darth Vader Raider, Stacy Ruff's in there. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. Who else we got in there? Mike Lee's in there. Thank you guys for joining.
Absolutely. Jay Laval's in there. Damage Inc. Raider Nation from Scotland is in there. Loving our UK folks show up.
Well, yeah.
Hey, this is Pete Koch, former Los Angeles Raider. Yeah, back in the old days, baby. And you're listening to Murph and Uncle Mosh, who happens to have the same hair as me. Check it out. Raiders Fan Radio.
I almost forgot to say that Adam Hill's in the chat.
Your best friend.
Well, yeah. He's all of our best friends. Well, Adam Hill.
He's a strong 4.
He's a strong 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I got the number 1 spot still.
Yeah, you always number 1.
And then Comp?
Yeah, Comp.
And then Mariota. No, then then Mosh. Well, you can't do that. Me and Mosh are tied for first.
Yeah, you're 1 and 1A.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 and 1A.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got Comp and Mariota, but then Adam Hill's right there.
Right there, man.
He's right there.
There you go, Adam Hill. You're the best, Adam. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you that are in the chat and appreciate. Oh, so what's up with Uncle Mosh? James Furpo in there says, "What's up with Uncle Mosh?" Uncle Mosh has had the craziest freaking Listen, so Uncle Mosh, for those of you that don't know, and I'll give you a little inside baseball here before we get to our last segment. Uncle Mosh is a high school theater teacher, and their show that they normally do in the early part of the spring got postponed repeatedly because of COVID and school getting canceled. And then they were able to lack of a better word, teased with their ability to do the show live, and it got strung out over this long period of time. So some weeks he was able to rehearse, some weeks he wasn't. They were building sets, then they had to vacate, blah blah blah, all this stuff. Then they caught this 2-week window where they were able to do their final dress rehearsals, and the county and the mayor and Uncle Mark, his real name, Uncle Mosh, was the only show in the entirety of our state, the entirety of the state of Tennessee, the only live performance that was allowed to go up was this high school production that Uncle Mark, I call him again. I can't stop calling him Uncle Mark when I'm talking about his real life. That Uncle Mosh, the only production there's no concerts, there's nothing going on. You can't go to a movie theater, but Uncle Mosh was able to put on his show.
Yes.
So all that stuff carried on for 3 months. So he's just been real busy with real life, and so much respect to him.
And then he went to Tunica. He went to do some casino sports.
And did
And did very well.
Very well.
Very well.
Yes.
I'm surprised he came back.
And there's only one thing that he loved after, of course, and Kathy first and foremost in his life and his faith.
Yeah.
And then his theater productions. Then Raiders Fan Radio was one notch under what? Tunica, yeah.
Yeah.
So if there's a choice for Uncle Mosh to go to the casinos or do Raiders Fan Radio.
And then you and me are down at the bottom.
Then we're way down there. Like,
we're like 8.
Our kids and everybody's way. Yeah, no, we're way down there. Anyway, so but that's what happened to Uncle Mosh. So appreciate you asking about him.
Yes.
And Raider, and I know this. Raider Tommy, Foxy Scorpio, whoever was asking in there. Mosh will be back. He'll be back for the Fannies next week.
Yeah, he will.
And we're gonna have a blast. All right. So speaking of legends.
Oh, good one.
Thank you, buddy. So speaking of legends, we're going to close out the show by honoring number 81. We're going to honor one of the all-time greatest Raiders, Mr. Raider himself.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday, Tim Brown. Today, July 22nd, is Tim Brown's 54th birthday.
Yeah.
And so, it's so funny, like, when these milestones for players, whether it's personal milestones or whatever else comes up, I'm always like, hey, we don't talk about that guy enough. Like, we don't talk about, and here's another one. Like, we don't talk about Tim Brown enough. Like, I feel like we camp out on, like, Willie Brown, Jack Tatum, Stabler, Biletnikoff, obviously, Villapiano. Like, we kind of camp out on certain players. We don't camp out on Tim Brown nearly enough. Bo Jackson's another one we camped out on. So, we're going to camp out on Tim Brown for a minute. We're going to talk about the greatness of Timmy Brown while wishing him a happy birthday. So happy 54 to Mr. Raider, a guy that almost spent the entirety of his career with the Raiders. And we're going to talk about a lot of his career highlights here in just a second. But first, let's go to NFL Network, who named Tim Brown the 5th greatest Raider of all time.
And now, the number 5 Raider of all time, Tim Brown.
It's picked up. Gannon throws out right. Open pass. Got it. Touchdown! Timmy Brown.
Great receiver. The guy could change things so quickly. Anytime he touched the ball, heart and soul of the Raiders, and one of the greatest receivers in this game.
Tim was a guy who longevity is going to speak volumes for itself. His ability to return kicks early in his career, his run after the catch, and I think he's certainly a guy that empowered what the Raiders were about in terms of a guy who had great speed and could do a lot of different things.
And it is appropriate that the first score for the return of the Oakland Raiders goes to a heart and soul player like Tim Brown.
Tim Brown with career catch number 1,000, all in the silver and black of the Raiders.
Tim Brown has caught more passes for more yards and more touchdowns than anyone in Raider history. But what if he had landed across the San Francisco Bay?
He was very productive for a long period of time. If he had not been injured early in his career, he would have put up close to Jerry Rice numbers. A lot of people thought if you had switched Brown and Rice, that Tim would have done the same thing in San Francisco that Jerry Rice did.
Tim Brown, touchdown, Raiders!
Our number 5 Raider had the stats, but did he have that Raider mentality needed to make our list?
Tim Brown is the anti-Raider because he's way too nice of a guy. He's not wearing spiked shoulder pads with silver face paint. He's not just released from the insane asylum. He's not an accused convict. He's not a draft bust. He's not a scrap heap pickup. He shouldn't even be a Raider. I think he should be a priest.
Touchdown, Raiders!
A very professional person in how he went about his business. And maybe sometimes those guys don't get as much attention, but clearly, from a productivity standpoint, this guy was one of the best ever.
Brown's there. Touchdown, Raiders!
Brown's place in the all-time rankings is secure, but did he just win enough, baby?
He should probably be in the top 10. Tell me what his impact is. He never played on a team that won the Super Bowl. In his career, the Raiders reached the AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl 3 times.
And they did it, annihilating the Raiders 51-3.
In those 3 years, they played 7 postseason games. In those 7 postseason games, Tim Brown caught as many touchdown passes as Ira Miller did.
And through the hands of Brown, incomplete.
My favorite Raider
number one on my list. How many quarterbacks that were mediocre through Tim Brown in L.A.? Schrader, Marinovich, Vince Evans. Now, think if he had a Montana or a Young thrown to him, he would have shredded Rice's numbers.
Oh, my God. All right, so good stuff there from NFL Network. And this is very interesting. So there's so much to talk about here. So first and foremost around Timmy Brown's career, he was so prolific with, at best, mediocre teams so many times. And I see the calls coming in, and we're going to get to you in just a second. We're going to finish with this Tim Brown segment, and then please call in. I see our hotline's blowing up here. Appreciate all of you doing that. We want to get our thoughts about Timmy Brown out first, and then we'll check in with you for sure. So Timmy Brown, a lot of quarterbacks, right? And one of the commentators in that clip there said that, what if Timmy Brown would have played with Joe Montana or Steve Young? And it's a very important point when you look at Tim and his, relevance or whatever, his impact on the league, that also a criticism that was levied there was like, well, what did he ever do in these times and blah, blah, blah. Well, look at what he had to work with. And when you look at the amount of quarterbacks, Tim Brown played with 19 quarterbacks, and he caught touchdown passes from 11. Jerry Rice caught touchdown passes from 2 guys. Yeah. 2 until he became a Raider. Well, point being, though, is that I'm gonna read this here. Check this out. In a 17-year career that included 1,094 catches for 14,934 yards and 105 touchdowns, Brown caught balls from 19 QBs with the Raiders and Tampa Bay. I used to tell them to throw it in my vicinity and I'll do the rest. To be consistent for that many years with so many quarterbacks is something I'm very proud of. I don't know if a lot of other guys weathered through some of the things that had to be done. It was sometimes more mental than it was physical to get on the same page of these guys and almost babysit some of the young quarterbacks. While Jerry Rice and Joe Montana had Steve Young, Michael Irvin had Troy Aikman, Andre Reed had Jim Kelly, Brown's quarterbacks were not exactly a who's who at the position. They were journeyman Jay Schrader, Vince Evans, Jeff Hostetler, Jeff George, and Donald Hollis. There were fringe players like Tuiasosopo, Chris Sims, David Klingler, Rob Johnson, T. Martin, Bobby Hoying. Right? It's crazy. Yeah. Of course, it all changed when Gannon got to Oakland when Gannon got to Oakland in 99 to give Brown a top-flight quarterback late in his career. Rich Gannon, as we've talked about numerous times, 2002 MVP. Gannon was the only quarterback who was an original selection of the Pro Bowl while playing with Brown. We looked it up, and there was like, okay, good trivia question for you here, Raider Nation. So when Jeff Hostetler was a replacement selection for Timmy Brown in 1994 as a Pro Bowler, here's your trivia question, though. There were only 3 other skill position players that made the Pro Bowl while teammates with Tim Brown. Think about that. So think about that in contrast to the Niners and what Jerry Rice had to deal with when he had John Taylor and whatever, all the other million people that were on that team. But so here's your trivia question. The chat room, I'm going to give you a minute. For those of you listening, I'm going to give you a minute. Stall out on it because think about this. 3 other skill position players who made the Pro Bowl while teammates with Timmy Brown. I would play the Jeopardy music if I had it. Okay? Here they are. The one that's not on your list, I promise you didn't think of, was Ethan Horton, tight end for the Raiders. I promise you didn't remember that Ethan Horton was a Pro Bowler. If you did, you get double bonus points and you're a better Raider fan than me because I didn't remember that. The other 2, easy peasy. Mm-hmm. Jerry Rice and Bo Jackson. Now think about that for a minute. For the entirety of his career, those are the only 3 guys that were skill position players that were Pro Bowlers at the same time he played. And frickin' Timmy Brown still put up the numbers that he did, still was prolific as he was, still had the impact that he did. And I'm going to shut up now because I'm risking rambling, but I do want to touch on this because this is funny. I mentioned he had 19 quarterbacks and 11 of them that he caught touchdown passes from. He was on SI not all that long ago. This is just from a couple years ago. And they asked him, can you remember all the different players that you caught touchdown passes from?
amazingly, you caught touchdown passes from 11 different quarterbacks. We dug up some old pictures of some of the guys. I want to test your memory, see if you remember some of these guys here. Let's take a look at one of the first of your old obscure quarterbacks. You remember that right there?
Oh, Wade Wilson, yeah.
All right. We gave you an easy one to start off with. Yeah, Wade Wilson right there. Right, one of the 11 that did throw you a touchdown pass. How about this next guy? Get a little harder with some of the old-time QBs for you.
Donald Hollis.
He's good. Yeah. You remember these guys. These aren't household names for most NFL fans.
Well, if you ask me, I wouldn't remember the names, but when I see the pictures, I remember the guys, yeah. So
I guess it's all about the numbers, right?
Right, absolutely.
Players remember the numbers.
No doubt.
One more for you. Let's take a look at this.
Oh, that's my guy, Vince Evans, right there now. I mean, hey, man. What's wrong with you, Tim?
What's wrong with you, Tim? Yeah, number 11. And then one more. You're going to get this. You got all these. I think you're on point with all these QBs. I don't know if you could name all 11, but.
Oh, Marcus Tuiasosopo.
Perfect. 4-4. Impressive stuff right there.
The second greatest Marcus that wore number 8, right, Jeff?
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely. So good stuff there. So anyways, good time to honor Tim Brown and his Hall of Fame career, number 81, Mr. Raider. And anyway, so appreciate Timmy, man. That was the first jersey I ever bought. First Raider jersey I ever bought.
Timmy
Brown.
Perfect.
Yeah, first one I ever bought. And I wish I still had it, man. Like, I don't even know what happened to it. Like, it's been that long ago. But that was my first jersey that I ever got was Timmy. Yeah, touchdown Timmy Brown. All right, so let's do one more call. Want to do a call?
Yeah, let's do a call.
All right, so we're done here for the show. We're done with this episode of the RFR Rundown. Why don't you shout out the chat while we're waiting for somebody to call in?
Yeah, we got Lee B, Watts Raider, Big Easy, Stacy Ruff, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, James Furpo, Watts Raider, James Furpo, Foxy Scorpio. Who else we got in there? Michelle Sweat was still in there. Raider Collie, Oakland Raider Trucker. We've got the whole crew.
Good deal, man. Appreciate all of you joining us for this episode of the Rundown. And yeah, if you want to call, the phone was blowing up here a second ago. So if you
call back.
Yeah, call back here. Jump in here. Watts Raider in the chat says, I remember when Napoleon McCallum got injured. Me too, dude. That was rough. When Napoleon McCallum, you don't remember Napoleon McCallum, do you, Jeff? You were too young. He was a running back from Navy. And if I remember right, we were playing the Niners on Monday Night Football when he took a big hit, kind of like coming up over a pile, if I remember right. Someone hit his leg and broke it, and it spun around in a bunch of crazy directions and unfortunately cost him his career. A unique thing and a very interesting, footnote to Napoleon Callum's career. And first off, great man and appreciate his service to our country first and foremost. Went on to be one of the key figures to bring the Raiders to Vegas.
Really?
Yeah, worked. It's like, and I forget who the other partners were, but he was like, he heads the group of, he heads one of the like financial groups or something, or like community organizations or something. Shame on me, and I'm going to make myself a note, and I'll bring this up on next rundown. I'll make sure I hit this. But yeah, Napoleon McCallum and his group were huge in organizing, kind of like the push to bring the Raiders to Vegas to begin with.
Nice.
Like one of the ones to like get mayoral initiative behind it and like sign off from Clark County and like all that stuff. Like it was freaking Napoleon McCallum, man. Pretty cool there. Yeah. So, all right, we'll give you just about another minute here. If you want to call in, for those of you, there was somebody in the 432. Oh, wait a minute. This might be kind of funny. All right. So they left a message.
Okay.
Let's just play the message. All right. This is great. Ready?
Yes, I'm calling from the Tennessee Health Administration.
Oh, wait, here we go. Let's take the call.
Call from.
One more again for Capo.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Aaron the Q-Dog Raider.
What's up, gentlemen?
What's up, brother?
Man, I got to be honest. I'm calling on behalf of concerned citizens. We've got some folks that want to attend adult clubs. And here we find out that some jolly gentleman is putting on theater productions for scholastic students. What the hell? We've got young ladies trying to work their way through college, and I got a fistful of dollars. This ain't fair.
Oh man, yeah. So Uncle Mosh is he's led the charge there for performances in Middle Tennessee.
Well, yeah,
but it has nothing to do with what you're talking about.
So let me find out that the production was The Wiz. He's got all these young Southern kids down there, playing Michael Jackson and Diana Ross and stuff like that, or was it something a little bit more risque?
No, it was.
Did he bootleg Hamilton?
Which shout out Hamilton, by the way, which is amazing on
Yeah.
Disney Plus. But it's no.
Moss had a ginger junior playing Hamilton.
That's it's in Uncle Mosh's talent pool there. I think that's all he got is a bunch of gingers to choose from.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Including
I'm just saying, you got a dozen cannolis, you can get a part.
Hey, there you go.
Very true.
True that. And Swag Jeff, you can speak to that firsthand, can't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How many leads were you in Uncle Mosh's shows?
I had 3 leads. I was in 3 different shows. Yeah, I was Hawkeye and MASH.
Yeah.
I was Charlie Brown in A Charlie Brown Christmas.
Yeah.
And I was and then we did a murder mystery and I was one of the leads.
Oh,
in that
okay.
as
And
well.
that was before Body by Swag. You could be Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Taking
I
a
have
shot at
follow-up
you live
question.
on the radio.
RFR has some follow-up questions for Swaggy J.
Okay.
Yes.
In your production and your lead role as Charlie Brown, who held the football whenever you went to kick the field goal?
You know what? We didn't do that scene.
Which
scene.
is why you didn't get an Emmy.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You're exactly right.
He might end up with a fanny out of it, though.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there you go. See what I did there?
Uh-huh.
Capo, man, what have you been up to, brother?
Man, just sitting here living out the apocalypse in prison, man. Everything's cool my way, and, we don't have any cases, but it's some scary stuff, man. Different world, man, but I appreciate you asking, man.
Absolutely,
What's the deal with Max? I mean, let's get into something, that really matters, because I'm watching Murph light up. He mentions Max, and then this guy, man, just lights up the room, man.
Yeah.
What's going on with you, man? I mean, the Godfather is smitten. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
Open up the book, man. Let us into your world for a little bit, man. Let me interview you, man. What kind of impact is this stellar person, and she's got to be top-notch, made an impact on you, homie?
Yeah, absolutely, man. She's the best, man. I'm riddled with smit. You know what I mean? I am. I'm about as smitten as you can get. I met Max just almost a year ago, man, and she's been an absolute blessing. And
she's the best.
She's the best, man. She's great. She supports this whole Raider thing, man. But faith and that whole faith, family, and football thing that we subscribe to, Q Dog. Like she
That's
does
right.
it. She does as well, and in that order, and that's what it's all about, man. And so yeah, it's kind of a big deal, man. Like I think I might be well, whatever. I'm not going to reveal the inside personal information, but there's
Max Nation for life.
That's right. But there's a lot of phases of life that I think are going to unfold with Miss Max. So I'm all about that. I appreciate you asking. Thank you, and thank you for noticing, man.
You deserve to be happy.
Because I'm about
You
crazy
deserve to
in
be
love,
happy.
man. Absolutely.
Now, I do have a follow-up question. I mean,
Okay.
now that she's in the family now,
Yes.
Are you going to get her to handicap games?
We get your what?
You're going to get her to handicap games. Just get her to record 3 or 4 games and let her handicap them.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I love that idea. Yes, we'll have the Max line. Yeah.
Against Mosh versus Max, handicapping games, 4 games a week.
That is
I
awesome.
dig that.
I do too. I'm making another note. Yep, thank you. Like, see, this is why he's the capo, Jeff.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because our dopey asses can't come up with these good ideas, but
No.
he can. Yeah, there you go. All right, so we're going to have the Max versus Mosh line. I love it. Capo, are you going to be in Vegas this year at all?
Yes, plan on that. As long as the Rona, subsides, I mean, you can count on Q, to play his part at a tailgate near you, homie.
Awesome, man. Absolutely. Well, hopefully we'll get a chance to link up there and see a game. Well, we may not see a game together in person, but we can see it on a TV in a casino somewhere, and definitely and link up at the Mojo tailgate, right?
Well, yeah.
That's right.
Raider World
Held in
Order.
the M parking lot.
M parking lot. Is that what it is?
Might as well be.
Love it, man. Well, hey, thank you again for calling. And first, and let me say this while I got you on the air. and everybody's listening, thank you for what you do for Raiders Fan Radio, man. You are an absolute, you know what I mean? Like, you don't join us in the fan cave in person every week, but your presence is felt every week.
Yes.
And, you know, right here with me and Mosh and Swag Jeff. And so thank you for all that you do to support the show, to contribute to the show, and represent Raiders Fan Radio, Murph's Fan Cave the way that you do, man.
High praise, man, but you know me, no self-gloss, man. I'm no Jim Rome. I'm out.
He's the best, man. He's the
That's
absolute
awesome.
best. All right, Jeff, we got anything else to get to?
No, man, let's get the hell out of here.
Hit the outro, man. Let's get up. All right, appreciate all of you joining us tonight on Raiders Fan Radio for this episode, or this not Raiders, whatever the hell this show is. I don't know. I don't care.
The Rundown.
The Rundown from Murph's Fan Cave. That's right. Appreciate you joining us here for the Rundown. And appreciate all of you that have joined us in the chat. I'm going to turn it over to Jeff here in a second because I've talked plenty tonight.
Yeah,
but just know that we love you. We thank you. Send me a message. Send me an email how much you want to spend on that Will Compton jersey.
Yes.
And let's do it silent auction style. And we're going to give all the proceeds to the tornado relief for all the impact that it had here in the state of Tennessee. Jeff, thank you for joining me in the Fan Cave. I love you, brother. Thank you for being here, man. And take us home.
Absolutely. And thank you for everyone in the chat. We got Adam Hill, Watts Raider, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Raider Collie, Foxy Scorpio, Lee B, the Big Easy Eye Patch Raider Nation, Scotland, Michelle Sweat. Thank you guys so much for joining us for another episode of the RFR Rundown, the live version. Thank you, Marcus Mariota, for being who you are as a man, a football player, and just an all-around guy. Thank you so much. And thank you for the live calls. Thank you, iPatch and Capo, for the live calls. So much fun. Thank you for joining us for another episode in Murph's Fan Cave, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. And remember, folks, what happens in Vegas started in Oakland. Good night, everybody.
Good night, YouTube.
Good night. See you next week for the Fannies.
Oh, yeah, the Fannies next week.
Yeah, bruh.
Yeah, come back for that.
Come on back if you want.
Come on back.
Yeah.
But not tonight.
Don't come back tonight.
You ain't got to go home, but you can't stay here. But everybody's at home now anyways.
Exactly. You can stay here if you want. Just watch it again.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, I'm going to give you something on the way out. You ready?
Oh, dude.
You want a single cam for this? Say goodnight.
Good night, Marcus.